Hello everybody and welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is Colton and today I will be making for you a soap inspired by Bad Romance from the Lady Gaga album, The Fame Monster. This soap is scented with one of our all-time bestsellers, Bonfire from Bramble Berry, and it is an amazing, smoky, foresty, woodsy take on a classic. So stay tuned and watch us make this soap inspired by the song Bad Romance from the Lady Gaga album, The Fame Monster. Alrighty, let's get this Bad Romance soap started. This soap, like I mentioned in the intro, was inspired by the Lady Gaga album, The Fame Monster, and the song from that album, Bad Romance. In that music video, we have Lady Gaga dancing in a room, and at the very end of the video, she is laying in a bed that is like smoldering and sparking and all of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what inspired the scent for this. And the scent, like I mentioned in the intro, is Bonfire from Bramble Berry. And this is one that we bring back very, very regularly because it is always super well received. It also doesn't necessarily have like a time of year or season that it is applicable to. It's basically like an all year scent. To this soap, I also am adding in some coconut husk, which is that brown stuff, and then also some pumice, which is the white stuff. And I don't know if you can see that because it's underneath the coconut husk. And then that is that fragrance oil, that Bonfire fragrance oil that we add. And it is scented kind of with whiskey barrel notes, some cinnamon, some suede, some cedarwood, sandalwood, and also a little bit of amber. So it is a really amazing woodsy, smoky scent, but not too smoky. So you're not going to smell like liquid smoke when you use this, which I personally appreciate. Once that is added in along with that exfoliant, we will blitz this up really, really quickly. This soap, like in the last video in our Mayhem Abracadabra video, and I'll put a card up in the corner if you didn't see that, is all made using one color and also one soap making technique. So the color for this soap is orange because that is the order of the rainbow, and the technique, like in all of the soaps for this month, is going to be a drop swirl. So to achieve a drop swirl, we are going to portion off about half of the soap batter into our slab mold there. I'm just eyeballing this. Drop swirl is a great technique because it's pretty rustic looking. You don't have to be super precise, like if you were wanting a layered soap and you want like 50-50 color like composition. So I just look at how much soap batter I have in the Cambro there, and then I dump out about half of that. You could be a little more precise if you wanted to be, but it's not really worth dirtying another container to weigh out that for this technique, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I'll then add in some orange mica. This is a custom blend because I wanted the orange to be a little more bold than the orange mica that we have, so I added in just a touch of, I think I added in a touch of red, and I might have added in a little bit of turmeric powder as well to give a really nice bold orange color, because turmeric powder in soap, it adds a super lovely orangey kind of rusty color to the soap batter. It does go through a color shift though, so if you're using turmeric in your soap, do be aware of that. What this looks like isn't necessarily what it's going to turn into in the final product after the soap batter has gone through the saponification process. So keep that in mind and don't panic too much. I like all of the colors that it turns though, so even if it's stuck to this color, this like pumpkin-y, like heirloom pumpkin-y color, I would be perfectly fine with that. And then just like the Abracadabra soap, I'm going in not necessarily just front to back, but kind of all over the place to add in that orange drop swirl into the uncolored soap base. This fragrance oil is a little tan-ish. So the soap batter is a little darker than the normal uncolored unscented soap base. However, it doesn't discolor, so that's good. That's one of the reasons why we picked this fragrance as well. Once I have all of that soap batter in and I've scraped out that Cambro, I let this sit for a good while, maybe 2 minutes or so, cleaned up a little bit, so it's a nice texture, so I can do some spoon swoops. And if you've seen some of our Bonfire soap making videos in the past, and I'll try and link one of those up in one of the corners as well, I wanted to emulate the kind of flamey nature of the top of the soap. So I'm just going in, not necessarily with a rhyme or reason, and doing some pretty rustic kind of painterly spoon swoops here. And I want to get all over the top of the soap. So I'm gonna do all of these spoon swoops with the mold facing me, and then I'm gonna turn it 45 degrees and do that again to make sure that there isn't any bald spots. Basically, it's really hard to make spoon swoops look unintentional. I don't know if it's just me, but my brain, you try and do it, but then you look and you're like, oh, those are all in a straight line, and that's not what I wanted. So if you turn it, you can kind of catch that pattern that you maybe couldn't see before. And then the last thing is I'm gonna spritz this with a little gold mica in an atomizer here. I do promise that some actually made it onto the soap there. It does look like everything just kind of puffed away, but that's what happens when you use one of these little atomizers. I will then spritz this with some rubbing alcohol, of course tuck it away for 24 hours, and then it is time to unmold and slice up. And you can see here that that orange and the light balance will kind of get itself together here in a minute. That orange really faded to a nice, lovely, not necessarily like heirloom pumpkin orange, but a nice, bold, pumpkin-y orange color. So traditional pumpkin color, which is what I was going for. And the batter didn't turn more brown, which also is what I was wanting, because I didn't want this to turn like a tannin orange. I wanted it to be similar enough to the Abracadabra soap, but with orange instead of red. We will then break out Dorothy, our multi-bar cutter, and cut away. I will clean the strings for this. The one thing with that coconut husk exfoliant that I added, we personally love it because it's a nice kind of smooth exfoliant. It's not super harsh, is that it sticks to the wires. So you do need to clean your trimming wires between slicing, or you're gonna get some pretty gnarly drag marks in the soap. It's not a huge deal like between like a couple loaves, but if you're really cutting a lot, like I made 3 slabs of this, I cleaned the wires between each slab basically. Like in the last video, I am curious, what is your favorite Lady Gaga song from the Fame Monster? I would say probably, it's a little basic, this song is one of my favorites from this album, but probably my all-time favorite song is going to be Speechless from this album. I would say that's probably my favorite. But that is it. This is our Bad Romance soap inspired by the album The Fame Monster. Don't forget, all of these soaps will be for sale starting June 1st, online and in person, as part of our Pride 2025 collection, which is titled Gaga for Gaga. Grab these while you can, because these will move pretty quickly. We have some pretty heavy hitters here. If you do want to get soaps, candles, bath bombs from us each and every month, we do have a subscription service, and we will send those goodies directly to you each and every month. Here is a list of all of our subscribers. We appreciate them, and to show our appreciation, we send them some of our best things that we make. So if you want to be part of this group, definitely check out our website for more details on that. It's not too late to sign up to get the Pride collection. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below your favorite Lady Gaga song from the Fame Monster. Also subscribe to the channel and ring that bell icon so you get notified when we come out with new videos. Thanks. Bye.